police found Marcus Gould, 25 years old, at a local hospital getting treated for his gunshot wound. A second robber, 20-year-old Leon Robinson, returned to the hospital to check out his accomplice, and after that, short case was captured by police. Let's hear for the lady. That's great. That is fabulous. She just went and did it. That's fabulous. Let's hear for this lady. Yeah. Pulled out her 38 and picked. Something we should all be doing to protect ourselves. This lady had it made. She did what she had to do, folks. Two thugs aren't going to mess with this old lady. 74-year-old lady in Arkansas, Springdale. Great job. Police obtained a warrant to search their vehicle and found 2 weapons used in an attempted robbery. Normally, that situation, there were a good guy, or this time a gal with a gun, emerging victorious. However, in this case, these robbers went to one place where firearms were sure to commit their reckless crimes. 2 morons. Great. Love it. That's absolutely fabulous. Good news after hearing about this, but I'm telling you, if people were allowed to conceal carry in every state, there wouldn't be this shooting we had at that high school. Because if you would have had the principal with a gun in his pocket, if you would have had a principal who would have said, stop at once, pull out his revolver and say, freeze, there wouldn't be 2 victims fighting for their lives or whatever in that hospital in Portland. Now, I myself don't really want to carry a gun because I just don't think I should. But for some of you people who are more together, let's say, more together, should have that right to carry a concealed weapon. Because we could stop this senseless murders, these senseless sickness. We could put an end to a lot of needless shootings if someone would step up to the plate and say, stop this. Let's put an end to the senseless shooting. This lady did it. Conceal carry. Let's do it. What would, I mean, in some states you can, in some states you can't. In the some states you can't, you get shootings like this high school in Portland, Oregon. Now, I don't know if Oregon has that law. Not sure. But I know for a fact that there are some states that do have this law in their books for concealed carry. Yeah, they had it coming, like it says on my Tea Party post. You better believe it. Great. That's fabulous. That's the way to handle things. No messing around. This lady wasn't messing around. 74-year-old told it like it is with her pistol. Yeah. No more low-life scum. Great. About time. Let's see what happens if we can. And here's the deal. This is how I see it. Okay, this is definitely how I see it here. Really, look, if we have concealed carry in the state of Iowa or anywhere else, watch this lady. I think this story should go viral. This piece about this lady who had a weapon and she used it to stop a robbery. She used it. Good for her. Definitely good for her. Fantastic. That's great. You know, now if someone would just pay attention and see how concealed carry can be used correctly, maybe perhaps we can lick this. And no one would dare mess around. These high school kids wouldn't dare mess around with killing innocent people in a school. They wouldn't dare do that. They wouldn't dare mess around because you'd have people who walk around with a gun and put a stop to this silly nonsense altogether, once and for all. What do you think about that? Concealed carry. What do you think? Go out and register for a pistol. Register to protect yourself and others by stopping a robbery like the 74-year-old woman did. Go for it, man. Go for it. You know, teach these low-life scums a lesson. You're getting full with, let's take our streets back. Let's take our streets back. Let's get that concealed carry thing going. I think so. Why not? Well, we just need to do that. It's time to finish up low-life scum right where they have it. And these school shootings whatsoever, all these problem teens. This excuse for saying, oh, he didn't mean it. You know, he didn't, you know, normal. Yeah, normal. What is normal? Not that. Let's do concealed carry here, folks. I'm for it. But I like I said before, I just don't think personally, in my opinion, I should have one. And I'd be the kind of person who would want one to protect myself, but at what cost? And personally, I mean, what good would it do? Because sometimes you could, you know, point a gun at somebody and say, hold it. But they could turn around, and if they got a buddy helping them, you could be in trouble, especially if they turn your gun on you by trying to take it out of your hands. And then you get convicted for shooting him. Like this whole Michael Brown case in Missouri. You know? Because, you know, you try to, you know, if it's, again, a black guy, and you try to take a gun out of his hand, and you shoot him, well, you go to court, and if you're let off, it's the start of another stupid riot. Really. So, I mean, well, what's the sense anyhow? You know, what's the sense? I mean, how much more are we going to, how many more people are we going to lose before we start waking up and start seeing the big picture? That this is not going to stop until we as American citizens in the United States of America stop it by starting to step up to the plate. Now, I'm not saying go out there and take the law in your own hands. Not at all. What I'm saying is let it be there as a self-protection. Let it speak for you, but, you know, let the cops handle it the rest of the way. You can stop them, but that's as far as you go. And if you do shoot them, remember, you are protecting other people, like this 74-year-old lady in Arizona. You know, it was time for someone to step in and do what they're supposed to do, you know what I mean? That's for sure. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the Gary Russen program today here on GJRB. Thanks for some of the people who listened to our podcast for the past couple of shows, past couple of hours. We've had one or two already on a podcast this afternoon. Thanks for tuning in, at least listening to the podcast if you couldn't catch us live. Post what you think what I said. Want to hear from you. I'll read your results on the next show. I'll be back next week with another edition of the Gary Russen program, and that's going to be our Christmas show. Talking about holiday stuff. We're going to set aside all this senseless violence for a while and talk about the holiday of Christmas. But our question for our matter of opinion still there. You can still answer it. What do you think about that mom who canceled Christmas? And what do you think of those Senate congressional guys who went up and walked off their jobs to protest this with the cop? Some of it I agree with it, some of them I don't. What do you think about that? We'll talk about that. Your postings are welcome all weekend. So listen to the podcast. Enjoy it. Have yourself a great weekend. It's the Gary Russen program on GJRB. Have yourself a great night, everyone. We'll catch you in the next round here, next week, for American Christmas Jukebox. Have a great weekend. Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radioland. A day of nothing but classic radio shows back to back with classic commercials in between. Like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radioland. New shows coming this fall on GJRB Online. This December, listen to GJ